one of the good things, they were called Veery's birds. And they're these little birds that are up in like Delaware. And I thought it was kind of cool because they're kind of near us. So now I'm like interested to go like find them and like bird watch them. But they always traveled south. So I think scientists assumed that it was like they would go down to Florida or somewhere, you know, Georgia or whatever. And so they finally started tracking them and catching them and tracking them. And they were noticing that they were going down, not in the United States, but they were flying all the way to Brazil. So they're going all the way, which is a crazy flight. Like, what if you got tired?
It's a long,
like you get
long
tired
flight.
halfore there, and you're like,
it's not constant flying.
where do they go?
Well, they fly south.
They don't
for a
float.
No, I mean, but they fly all the way down there. They go all the way down the East Coast. Probably take the treks over to the islands, and then they hit Brazil or whatever.
But dude, do you know how far it is over the ocean?
It's very far.
So here's
as an individual has driven across the United States of America many times, that is very far distance for sure.
Like maybe they don't expend energy the same way humans do, so it's
There's
easy
no
for
way.
them.
Yeah.
But like,
they get up high enough and then they just
I would
try
still
to
think
drift
it's a
in the
trek.
wind, I guess, you know.
I would still think it's a trek, right?
Oh, absolutely. That's got to be like 5,000, 6,000 miles.
Oh yeah, easily.
From Delaware to Brazil.
Like they even if they follow the coast, I'm saying like even from the tip of Florida to Brazil, how many thousands of miles is that?
That's probably another 2,000 miles right there.
That's it? I thought it would be more than that.
Again, as just a dude from Baltimore that doesn't know anything about anything.
I was always bad at geography. We could look it up right now, but I'm not going to.
I always thought I was pretty good at geography. I think I got a pretty good sense of direction.
Yeah. But so the crazy thing, so they're going to Brazil, and then the even crazier thing is they were trying to notice like the mating season and like why some of them left. Like the individual birds would leave at certain times. And they couldn't figure it out.
Booty calls.
Well, that's what they thought. They thought maybe it had to do with like, you know, they were just done for the season or whatever, and they were going back. But then it turns out but some of them were leaving like a month in advance, like of when they normally do, which is crazy. Like, or even more.
And then would stop early.
Yeah, and they were tracking them. The reason they were like, well, why is this doing it? And then they thought, well, wait, they have to cross the ocean. What time of year is that? Oh, it's hurricane season. So the birds were leaving depending on knowing, like, this is the crazy part. They were leaving based on the weather, yet they were predicting it and leaving it like months ahead of time. So somehow the birds can sense
hurricane season
how bad it's going to be. And to make sure that they backed it up, they went back through the records and saw each hurricane season with when the birds from their data, because they used the little trackers on them, to see when they left and how it compared to the hurricanes of that year. It pretty much matched up perfectly to where you could see when it was heavier hurricane season, they were leaving earlier. Yeah, and then more of them were leaving.
That's interesting.
And when it was lower, a lot of them were staying if they found mates.
That's
how crazy is that?
Well, there's a simple explanation for that. It's because birds aren't real. They're all
they're not real.
They're government surveillance tools.
Oh my
they're used to spy on you. I
thought that was crazy.
No, that's birds aren't real.
I don't doubt there aren't a ton of birds there that are fake.
I mean, come on, we're talking about the U.S. government. You don't think they got a couple fake bird cameras? At least maybe not all birds aren't real, you know, but like, come on.
They definitely have all bird cameras. I don't doubt that. So that's a type of good surveillance. Yeah. And that was pretty cool learning. So, but imagine if we could take that
surveillance for science.
Right. Imagine if we could take that whatever it is that they have and then translated that into technology, because we can't even predict weather days before. You know, like sometimes hurricanes can come up last second. You know, but these birds somehow know. So if we could find a way or capture these birds and look at them and say how they're acting, now we can actually, they're using that in the sense of predicting it's going to be bad. But now if we could actually, like, if there was some magical way to take their gene or sense and like and put it into humans, you know, to where we could sense it, like we could feel